I'm just pulling up the watch page.
We live, nigga. We live.
For sure.
All right, man. Welcome back to the O'Shea Blogcast. I got my man Marcus A. Brown.
Yo, what up? What up? What up?
Shout out to him. And today we have a wonderful topic. And this was written on the NegroManosphere.com before by Donovan Sharp. And the topic is why black men go Mgtow. Before we get into that, let's introduce Marcus and talk about your channel, what you do, what you have here on YouTube. Then we can get into it.
Yeah, so this is Marcus A. Brown. Y'all probably know me from a lot of the chat rooms. I'm just supporting a lot of the brothers in the manosphere right now. I did a little bit of vlogging, a little red pill content in like 2014, 2015. So I don't know. Some of y'all may know me for that, and some of y'all may know me from vlogging, the Mgtow forums, World Star, all that stuff. So,
okay. Cool. Marcus, you are two things unique about you as a brother that I've noticed. One is I'm not sure you're definitely a Republican, right?
No, I'm not a Republican. I did kind of change political perspectives. I got some more conservative views.
Right.
But I wouldn't identify myself as a Republican. Okay. I'm just a Trump supporter, so yeah, that just kind of threw a lot of people off.
Trump supporter, okay. I don't even think Trump is really
a conservative, right? Yeah, well, Republican. He's not a rhino like we used to seeing.
Right, and then you also were the inspiration behind Aaron Clarey's book that I always talk about, The Black Man Guide Out of Poverty. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I was the inspiration behind it, but it was an idea that he came up with, and he just came to me and a few other brothers and like kind of asked our opinions on it because, he was real cautious about writing a book because he wanted to make sure he was speaking from his perspective, from what he sees on the outside looking in, as well as like getting black people that's close to him, getting our perspectives. And I'm not sure if you was following the book when it first came out. It got a lot of backlash, but thanks to brothers like yourself and like the good reviews that he got on other platforms, it's been doing pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, the book has been kicking ass as of late. And shout out to Obsidian because he was the first person that actually heard it. And I was a smaller YouTuber at that time, but once my influence grew, we started pushing it. But the second thing about you is that you have some Mgtow views, which is a little bit different for maybe the average black man to identify. Because when you think about Mgtow, you think about all white male movement, or the red pill is more white than anything. How did you come across Mgtow in the first place?
I came across Mgtow. Actually, I came across Tom Leykis first. Tom Leykis is an old radio. You familiar with the Tom Leykis show?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I came across his channel or his old content looking for relationship advice because I was out here simping. I got a deep blue pill history. So looking for relationship advice, I came across Tom Leykis. And from Tom Leykis, I came across Paul Elam and Stardust. It was a lot of earlier Mgtow. Like Mgtow, if you ask 100 different people, you get 100 different answers now. But I would like to say that I kind of was around the scene when it was fresh on YouTube, and it was a different quality of Mgtow content. So race really wasn't a factor. Like you said, the majority of the Mgtow content producers, they was not black, but race really wasn't a factor. It's always been some black people in the Mgtow forums.
Let's talk about, if you don't mind, because you said you have a deep blue pill history.
Yeah.
I do too. But since you're my guest today, if you want to share to help some of the brothers out, what kind of things were you going through in your life at the particular time that was making you say, what I'm doing right now ain't working? Let me get red pill.
Well, hey, let me give a shout out to Steve the Dean Williams. You know what I'm saying? I was in tune with y'all last two hangouts. It's been brothers like him, yourself, Minister Jab, Angry Man, I ain't really had that growing up. I mean, I had a father, but he was kind of a simp himself. With all due respect, but yeah, like typical shit, single mother household. I love my mom. She did her best to raise me and my brother, but it's just without a man in the household or without male mentorship, you're gonna have those qualities, those aspects of men that's like lacking or missing. And that's pretty much what I had going on. I never had a problem attracting or dating women, but I just shit. I was making myself available as a utility. And that's what I see you and Steve, y'all teaching a lot of brothers not to do that, because you pretty much asking to be utilized. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know about the whole world star incident. Usually that's what everybody asks me about, but the world star thing, when I call my ex cheating, that's what kind of made my situation viral. And from there, Sandman did a video on that. He did a commentary on it, which got a lot of Mgtow to follow me on my, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all of that. So from that point on, I just kind of, it's been like a mutually beneficial relationship. I've gained a lot of insight from the red pill, from Mgtow, from the Black Manosphere, and in return, like I would produce content, but now I'm just kind of doing a vlog and moving on into other things just to try to show brothers like how they should live their life after red pill rage, so to speak.
I didn't know about this World Star Hip Hop. What?
Yeah, trust, you know, nigga, you gonna know when you see it.
No, man, I never saw it.
I'll tell you, this is a video where I called my girl, my ex, cheating on me, and I put it on camera. I put it on World Star, and so this was in August of 2012. I ain't really get into the manosphere till the next year, next summer, because me and Shorty, I was still dealing with her back and forth even after the World Star incident, and it wasn't until we pretty much had to separate from each other just because of some legal issues. I just fell back. I was staying with her at the time, then I fell back, moved back in with family, ultimate L's, you know what I'm saying? And I spent that whole summer just absorbing manosphere content and working, you know what I'm saying? Getting my bread up, paying off my debts and things of that nature. So once I kind of got my own foundation going on, start trying to figure out what I want to do to self-improve, to, make self-improvements for myself. Yeah, that's when the manosphere just kind of took a liking to me. And I was like this poster boy for Black Mgtow at the time.
So
like that video is viral, bro. Like when you see it, I had braids at the time. When you see it, you can be like, damn, I've seen this nigga before. That was me.
So wait, I'm on World Star right now. I mean, is it still,
what I'm talking about? What'd you say?
Is it on YouTube or is it on World Star?
That shit's on everywhere. I don't even keep up with it no more. But I submitted it to World Star, and from there, because I did it really just on some spiteful, salty shit. You walk in, you catch your girl doing whatever, and let me say this too, like it was probably, I'm not saying it was the best thing I could have did, but it wasn't the worst, because in that moment, like all I was thinking about was my cousins, my brother in California. I got other men in my life that have responded to that type of scenario the wrong way. So in that moment, I was just thinking to myself, like, all right, what do I want to do? How do I want to handle this situation? Because I could have easily picked a fight. I could have went to fucking shit up and, having some type of emotional outlash, and it wouldn't have worked out for me. So I think I did what came naturally to me as a videographer. I'm just, bust out the phone, like, look at this shit. And I didn't think it was going to go viral, but once it's out there, it's out there. So.
Wow.
It's like a gift and a curse, because sometimes people still, that's what most of my interviews, people want to talk about that. So I'm surprised that you ain't know about it.
I didn't know.
But, neither here nor there. By me sharing that story and by others kind of building on it, it led me to have the same discussion with a lot of men. And I've heard way worse stories than my own. I'm sure you have too. Like just, I don't have no kids. I ain't married. I ain't really got no debts and nothing like that. But when you have this discussion with specifically Mgtow, but any brothers in the manosphere, you got to be grateful if you one of those brothers that got out the gym, because there's a lot of guys that's suffering from past decisions or past just victims of circumstances and some bad choices in sometimes some cases.
Well, let me what once this happened. Let me see something.
Right, I'm checking out the chat too.
Can you guys hear me? All right, can you still hear me? Marcus.
Yeah, I hear you and I see you. I thought you was talking to the chat.
Okay. So did she try to, like, once that happened, did the woman try to like get back with you, try to call you or anything? Or
After, yeah, like later, a year later, once I got my shit together, you know how that's called monkey branching.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that some other females I was dealing with after the fact, like after 2013, I still date, I still interact with chicks on my terms, but it's really been more of like a social experiment for me. You know, I enjoy myself and I'm fair. So any woman I'm dealing with, I'm gonna treat fairly. But you know, like after coming across this type of insight, these forums where men can come together and exchange ideas and experiences, it's like you don't forget that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to demonize women in general. I think that's a stereotype that a lot of recent Mgtow have brought to the table. But it's really all this is a social experiment and an open discussion. And as y'all can see with the censoring that I was talking with Solo about this too, like with the censorship that y'all experiencing now, I got that in 2014, 2015. Because as soon as I started sharing that story, I got attacked from all sides.
Wow. Who did the most attacking to you?
People that knew me personally, really, like, because like I said, me and my ex, we both, I ain't say this on this interview, but we both did music. We was Chicago rappers. So by us working together and Chicago being such a small network in that local music scene, like we knew a lot of the same people. So when you got like a couple on some fake power couple type shit and they don't work out, it forced everybody to kind of feel like they need to pick a side. And then wasn't nobody picking my side. Like, what would you pick? If it's a big ass falling out or breakup, you got like a red bone, big titties, everybody want to hit, or like this little short dude with braids that don't nobody really even know like that. So I mean, I ain't mad about that, but the backlash that I got was from me speaking. If I would have just took L's and been quiet and went up in my own little corner somewhere, it would have been cool. But I got a website too, the mabexperience.com. When I launched that, I started speaking on like all type of shit, red pill content, the truth about local rappers. That was a blog and a video that I made. It got me a lot of backlash from the local rap scene, the DJs, and I had a few people hit me up on some, bro, what is you doing type shit. But I mean, bro, at a certain point, you just gotta live your life yourself. And I was just on some, hey, this what goes down. And the more that I spoke, the more I would get good and bad feedback. Like I said, the bad feedback, that was from people that knew me personally. That was from motherfuckers who never fucked with me to begin with. But the good feedback was from complete strangers, and it was from people shit from all different walks of life. So that's kind of what made me identify as a Mgtow before the Black Manosphere. And I still do to this day. But I remember a more classical quality of Mgtow as opposed to what's out here right now.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna come back to the feedback from the people that didn't know you and reached out to help you versus the people who you knew previously. But let's go back. Let's go to the topic today, which is why do you think so many brothers like yourself are experienced with the ideas of Mgtow?
Right now, it's like a lot of social engineering taking place. And I think men, even if they've never been on YouTube, never been on the Negro Manosphere, you can take a complete blue pill guy, let's say in barbershop talk, and if you just listen to them or you just engage with brothers in these discussions, like they'll have their complaints, they'll have their gripes, not necessarily against women, but just against the way men are being treated in general by society. And so, like I was saying, you got social engineering taking place where men are being viewed as disposable. Everything that we used to hold dear and honorable is no sacredness in that shit no more. There's no sacredness in marriage. There's no sacredness in I want to say virginities and shit, but sexuality. Like thoughts is what's in right now. Even wife and thoughts. So the more society kind of destabilizes the family or the traditional household, the more men are gonna feel that they don't have a place in the household or in society in general. So like right now is an easy time to get in the guy's ear and just be like, bro, something ain't right. Like look around. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just saying, be aware of the risk and the ramifications of getting yourself involved in certain situations. That's all. That's all the manosphere is. It's just a discussion.
Well, let me ask you this. I gotta play devil's advocate because let's assume, all right, Marcus, I can tell you're a nice guy, you're an intelligent guy. You get a woman who beautiful, also a Trump supporter. She likes Marcus for who he is. She's Marcus, I want to be, I want to be with you. She's catering to you, everything you ever wanted physically. Does Marcus say, I can't marry you because I'm Mgtow, or I can't be with you long term, seriously, because I'm me? What is your response?
Well, yeah, I let women know up front my boundaries, and I've experienced that before. I get different responses from chicks. Like sometimes, rarely, you have a female saying, "Okay, well, I'm looking for something slightly different," and you're not really offering what I'm looking for, and y'all agree to disagree. Y'all might still be cool, may not be cool. That's the minority. Like the majority of times, I could tell a chick whatever. I could say, bitches ain't shit. I don't do that. But I'm just saying, I could say I'm not interested in a marriage or having kids and things like that. If they feeling you, or if they see some type of role, some type of way they can put you in their harem, they ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I've had better relationships with women after the red pill than beforehand. And that's not because I'm any different. I'm the same type of dude. I got different priorities. You know what I'm saying? So I would never try to shit on a chick and be like, yeah, I ain't looking for this. That's what the swirlers are doing. Like what I want to do is build relationships with women, but I don't want to send them off. I don't want to mislead them. I feel like as long as I'm being fair and being upfront, then I'm giving them the option to. It's an open door policy. Like they can fuck with me if they want to. If not, then I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about your different priorities because you mentioned that just now. What do you mean when you say different priorities?
Well, the first thing is financial independence. That's what I'm working towards. That's an ongoing process, and I think that's something that Tom Likas kind of set the bar for me. So that along the way, I started picking up other things I'm interested in, traveling, men's fashion, just hobbies. You know what I'm saying? I used to do music. I still do that off and on, so to speak. One thing I'm getting into, and this is something I wanted to speak with you about too, because you made a video on this recently, but prepping. Like I forgot the name of the title of the video. It's like be prepared for a bad day.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole community for that, the prepper community, or shit hits the fan preparation. And like I said, it's all these different forms. I make them a priority. That's not to say like if that's not to say I don't make women a priority at all. It's just this is my program. This is my interest at the time, and I use that to meet women that's more congruent with my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Like most dudes, they don't know who they are, or they too busy trying to be some shit that they not. So they'll try to find bitches at the club, at the beach, or wherever. You know, typical places where you know it's gonna be some pussy. It may not be the best pussy, but it's just bitches. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you just want to hit the streets and practice your game or whatever. But in terms of meeting people with special interests, you just gotta do you. You almost gotta travel. You almost gotta go out on your own alone and you meet people instead of trying to meet people first and drag them along with you. It's better to just do your own thing and meet people along the way.
Let's talk about lifestyle because what you mentioned is, now, you were doing some commentary,
Right.
some of the issues, 2014, 2015. Now you've transitioned into, blogging, more lifestyle. And one of the reasons that you say you do this is because you want to show brothers there's a different, different things to life. And I can really appreciate that statement. Talk about the importance of transitioning, seeing the world for what it is, because I think that what you're saying is a lot like how I think about the world now versus what I thought about it 3 years ago. Talk about that and the importance, if you can.
Yeah, but like that's a similarity I knew we had off top when you spoke on brothers needing to get out of the country. You leave, you come back, you leave, you come back, and every time you leave, you expand your horizon. So you learn more about the world. But when you come back, I don't know, it had different effects on brothers. Some people they come back to the States and they have a greater appreciation for the state. That's really what gave me more conservative views going outside of the US. And don't get me wrong, I'm not belittling the state of the black community in America. We got our issues. I think our biggest issue is with police brutality. That's my issue with America. But other than that, like black people in America are living better than black people in other parts of the world. And I think it takes some traveling. It takes getting outside the US to see that. When you come back, I don't know, bro. It just changes. Like I can't listen to certain complaints no more because I done seen motherfuckers living in huts. I done seen people like shorties fighting over food and shit. And then you come back to the States and you got niggas like with phones and they got a roof over their head. They got link card. They got Section 8. We ain't doing that bad. The biggest problem we got is violence and police brutality.
Let me ask you this, because you make a great point. Well, before we get into that question, because this is a good interview, and once again, like the video, you guys, we're getting ready to post Marcus Brown YouTube channel here. So let's get the likes up. I know that we have 127 watching people. So if you're in the chat, let's go ahead and get the likes up. All right, let's get the likes up. Get them up. Marcus, let me ask you this. What countries have you been? And what did you see? I mean, besides what you're talking about, right. What else when you were over
there? First place I went to was, I've been to Paris and London. This was before the refugee crisis, so I actually got to see a better version I got to see those places before they start experiencing the trouble they're experiencing now with the refugees and shit. Canada, I've only been to Niagara Falls, so I ain't really get to see like Toronto. I want to actually go in the deep state of feminism. I want to go to like the feminist capital just to see how fucked up it is. The poverty I was talking about, without seeing that in the Dominican Republic. Now I went there as a tourist. You can go there. I went there twice actually for a wedding and one just partying. And from there I got to see like the sex tourism life, the resort aspect, and how like they kind of keep you away from the real struggle that you see out there, that the Haitians, the Dominicans, all that type of infighting. So like it's some, you know how it is. Like you go somewhere, you can see the good and bad in every culture or every region, but when you come back to the States, it's like you happy to be home, but you kind of disappointed with the way motherfuckers that. It's a lot of ungratefulness. That's all I think. We don't know how good we got it.
Right, and that's one thing. I'm glad you touched on that, because I mean I've never been to Africa, and I'm gonna go in the beginning of June. I wasn't gonna go tomorrow, but something came up, and I'm gonna end up. I was going to actually be in Belgium, but I'm gonna end up in Budapest now. But when I was in Ukraine and even here in Poland, and I don't know if you've been to San Francisco, or if you're in San Francisco, you go to one side of a street and it's rich,
right?
And then go to another, just down the street, and there's extreme poverty.
It was like in Chicago. It's like, well, not as much now, but you can see that. Yeah, you go on one side of the expressway, and it's like college campuses, police everywhere. It's safe. You go on the other side, your ass finna get robbed. Motherfuckers finna be selling you loose squares, socks. Like that's Chicago. I think every major city got its segregation by class.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, money talk. If you got money, you could be on either side of that fence.
Right, right. I think like when you live overseas, you know, like even though like Poland's in the European Union, you know, they don't have like the way that we live on an everyday life. You know, to have an iPhone and a big screen TV, and I mean the average American life is upper middle class everywhere else. Everywhere else. I mean, if you guys don't understand that, you guys are fucking up. You've never been anywhere. To live your regular lifestyle in even another country. For example, I was thinking about moving to Kampala, Uganda this summer. To live the same lifestyle that I would live like in the USA and the Uganda is like quadruple the price because it costs more to have the electricity running there. I thought about going to Liberia to volunteer. I mean, everything is much more expensive to do there because they don't have the infrastructure for it. And a lot of brothers, when they haven't been overseas, you know, they don't look at the opportunity that they're missing by being America. America makes you lazy, man. I'm not gonna even say America is competitive, but it makes you lazy. You think that you deserve a $25 job doing nothing, and a lot of you brothers need to come out overseas. And the reason why is going to bring out a tenacious animal in you that you never knew that you had. You know, like, because you have to compete when you come over to countries like Ukraine, Poland, and Russia. Like, you know, my man Philco, if you ever watched him, ain't no jobs over there paying nobody, and you know, speak English. You have to compete if you want shit out there. You have to really work hard. So, you know, shout outs to you. Let me ask you this question, Marcus. You talked about the red pill has allowed you to meet different people that supported you when people in your own community that you knew for a long time turned their backs on you.
Right.
Let's talk about that and go into detail because a lot of brothers probably are afraid to step out and meet somebody or go someplace different because of fear of rejection. How have you dealt with that? What opportunities have you gained from this?
Well, like I said, it was a mutual thing. It wasn't like I just got all this support like on some people kissing my ass or catering to me. It was when Sandman shared my story and other like I did an interview with Tommy Sotomayor that same year. And that had like a different spin to it. But it was like I saw other people from the manosphere reaching out to me. And what that did was let me hear other people's stories. So it really wasn't like a support base as much as it was showing me that whatever I thought I was going through really wasn't shit compared to what a lot of other men are going through to this day. So that just gave me a greater appreciation for the bullets I dodged. So it really wasn't like somebody supported me like they like I just built a fan base and nothing like that. But in a sense, I guess it has been because the people who relate to me are people who are either going through what I've been through or worse. And for the people that's going through worse, it's like, man, you know, I can't really be mad at them if they got some type of discrepancies against the people who did them wrong. All I could do is try to like provide some type of positivity for people to move forward. And I troll a lot too, so a lot of times I just fuck with the whoever get offended by some shit I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like turn up with that shit. So when I fell back from YouTube, I was getting flagged, bro. I was getting thrown in Facebook jail. I never had the YouTube ban, but you know, like what y'all going through with the censorship, I was going through that in 2015, 2014. Everybody was at my head.
Wow.
They don't want this discussion happening, you know what I'm saying? But it's a mutually beneficial discussion, long as brothers like kind of see light at the end of the tunnel. Like if you take women out the equation, or you take whatever a man's hopes and dreams. Some people dream of having a wife and kids. Some people dream of living that male provider lifestyle, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the traditional family household. But the issue is, you know, we living at a time where you got the state, you got the government acting as a third party in your relationship. You can meet the perfect girl. You, like you said, I could meet the unicorn in the walk, and I'm gonna treat her good. But that don't mean it's not a gun on the table. At any moment, she change her mind and say, man, you know, or change her heart.
Right.
to do, you know, is either call up a bigger nigga or call up the state. You know, even for the alpha males, you know, I get into it with that. I get into it with brothers on my page a lot because they think it's being pessimistic or defeatist or like, oh well, if you was a real man, I hear that a lot too. And it's like, come on, bro, real men are being attacked by by entities up above. It ain't like women hate real men. Women love real men. It's just women have the government by proxy that's putting them in a situation where they could deal with them on their convenience. They can deal with men. They can fuck all the real men or the alpha men, so to speak. They don't have to answer to them. Because the minute they get tired of answering to them, it's like, you know, you can be disposed. You could be it's consequences for obligating yourself to women to that extent.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very, very good response.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the answers. Yeah, I can't sit here and get somebody the right answers. I know some people that just totally disregard women. You'll see it on my page. Some people just say, hey, bitches ain't shit. And I don't entirely agree with that. I just be like, all right, bro, if that worked for you, I'll see where you at. You know what I'm saying? But then you got some people that's like, no, brother, you need to man up. You need to find you. And it's like, hey, man, let's just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's take my lifestyle, your lifestyle, this brother lifestyle, and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's one of the 48 laws of power. Respond with your respond with your actions, not through argument.
Right, exactly. See, I think you was talking about that the other day in the comments, and I haven't read that book yet, but I need to get it.
Yeah, this battle of the sexes shit, motherfuckers gonna be arguing with that to the end of time. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's just men are kind of even in the platform, they even in the score with the manosphere. We ain't had that before. We had to like had in the caves and shit of the barbershop or the fraternities, wherever you at, and brothers be whispering to each other like, man, my old lady tripping. Ain't no more of that. You know, motherfuckers just out in the open like, hey, my baby mama, G. And I don't think that women are accustomed to hearing that. They always want to hear what men think, but when they hear it, they may not always be pleased with it.
Right, exactly. Let me do this. Sherelle, $15 donation. I appreciate you, boo. Max Young.
Yeah. Hey, let me like the video, bro. While I'm up there.
Like the video, man, because it's about you. We got that. Max Young, thank you. Sherelle, thank you. I'm gonna buy some collard greens with that. Black domestic discipline. You gotta get her up in here, man, for real. Shout out to her. Lorenzo, I see you, player. He's been in the chat, man, really supporting, man. I really appreciate that, brother, too. Ty C, my man, what's going on with you? Full circle. I see Antonio Thompson. Man, Reynald Cherry, listen, we bring this information in for you, brothers, to try to basically give out more information. MV Bless UK, I appreciate all of you. What I need you to do, Alvin Rails, hey, that's $30 you can eat real good for a month. I need you guys to like the video, man, because we got 151 watching, 82 likes. All right, now I need you guys to be in here liking the video because we want to get this promoted. Abstract Focus, I see you. So do me a favor, if you're watching the video, you're in the chat. Everybody, go ahead and click the like button. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. You know, we got Marcus, A. Brown, who's coming in here, give us some great information. So brother doing a lot of different things coming from the city of Chicago. And we're going to talk about that here. All right. So don't matter where you're from or where neighborhood you come from, you can still make it out the hood. You can still do something positive with your life. And that's what we try to teach you here. Two brothers from two inner city places. You see, he's been all over the world. I'm trying to do the same thing like he did. And we're giving information to the brothers.
Y'all shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't been to Dominican Republic, so we
my bad, bro. I just want to say this real quick before I forget. Like any of y'all that do this, decide to subscribe to my channel, it's the MAB Experience. If you go to my channel, go to the playlist because what I did was I started removing a lot of my videos and moving them to this backup channel. But it's all on a playlist on the MAB Experience, and from there you can see like the vlogging, you can see my old Mgtow content, and you can see the prepper vids that I'm talking about. Because I think that's something that brothers need to really start having a more broader discussion on, preparing for shit hits the fan scenarios, preparing yourself financially for just whatever could come down the pipeline that you may not be expecting.
All right, and
all the playlists is on my page.
And matter of fact, and shout out to my man Investor Ed. That boy got on that nice suit, player. I see you.
Shout out, cool, man.
Out there, man.
Hey, that's a good brother. He always sharing my content. I appreciate it.
And let me do this while we're speaking of your content. Hey, I just posted the link to Marcus Brown channel, right? What I want you to do is after when we like the video, click on the link, right, and say sub, right? You know how we do. We always bring the best content creators over here. So what I want you to do is go into the chat. You see his name. Click on his name. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Sub. All right. Thank you, Jet Mafia. Jet Mafia sub. Reynald Cherry, can I get you the sub, player?
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's get the subs up, man. You know, we're going to have them coming back also. All right. Laws. He said, Marcus Brown, you just got you a new sub. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for supporting our brother, okay? Let's get Bob Newhart just subbed. Oh, the Costa sub. Thank you, player. All right.
Man,
okay, we want to go back into this. Johnny Hilson, thank you. Now, you're from Chicago, man. And I know Chicago is one of the biggest cities, probably the third biggest market economically in the country. So when you think about Chicago, people think about, you know, it's bad. But, you know, really Chicago, a lot of good universities, a lot of good things going on in the city of Chicago. What part of Chicago are you from? You don't mind me asking.
I'm from South Shore, so that's like, we call it the East Side, but it's the Southeast side of Chicago. I'm from 73rd and Jeffrey, so anybody that's familiar with South Shore, that's where I'm at. What else I want to say? Go ahead.
So let me ask you this: what kind of things do you see going up, man? Like, I mean, how did you get to the position where? I mean, like maybe some of your friends got involved with some different things. How did you end up, you know, as the brother that's a stand-up brother now, that, you know, the very well spoken, very well mannered? How did you end up, you know, maybe there's some people will say, are you from Chicago? Your demeanor is not.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is look at my page, bro. Like you see all my old content, you're gonna see, oh yeah, this nigga from Chicago. And like I think a lot of times I rub people the wrong way because I dabble back and forth. Like all this conservative talk is new to me. I'm still learning a lot. I'm a former leftist myself. So, I mean, I supported Obama in 2012, 2008. I had a totally different political perspective. But no, between rapping in Chicago, like all my followers are either people from Chicago or people from the whole Red Pill, Mgtow crowd. But I don't know, like, Chicago is, I don't want to say it ain't bad. It's getting worse. It used to not be as bad as it is now, but it's pockets. You know, I want to think every city is like that, where you got good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods. But yes, we got stereotypes like when the summer here, when it get warm, that's when it get crazy. It's a beautiful city. It's just it got some messed up politics and it got a lot of no snitching. You know, so it's a lot of shit that's wrong specifically in the Black community that nobody speaks on, you know, and if you're a Black man speaking on it in the wrong way, then you'll be chastised.
Let me ask you this: what are you seeing when it comes to, you know, women in Chicago, man? What kind of chicks do you come across? What do you see every day? I mean,
I think women in Chicago like women everywhere else. I can relate to women from Chicago, of course, because we're from the same city. We got some of the same interests, but in comparison to like maybe Southern women or Valley girls and stuff like that, like it really ain't no difference mentally. It might be a difference in accent, but one thing I can say about Chicago is like we like roaches. We didn't scatter somewhere everywhere. Wherever you go in the U.S., you're gonna see somebody else from Chicago. So I always feel like I'm home wherever I'm at. It's just a different atmosphere, a different environment, but. Chicago is, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just Chicago.
I see. Just Chicago. Let me talk to you about some other things here. You talked about, once again, kind of going back to, you changed your political views.
Right.
I was a person that voted for Obama in 2008. Now, you live in Chicago on the South Side. I believe the South Side of Chicago is typically Democratic. Is that what it is?
Yeah, predominantly, yeah.
What made you change your views politically?
Making new friends, actually, because like I said, I got exiled from the music scene, from like all my, I ain't gonna say all my friends. I still got some of my day one friends, but all of them kind of cut from that same cloth. Like you said, predominantly Democratic. Chicago is like a liberal city. Actually, Cook County is just a leftist county. So yeah, I was kind of being a product of my environment. And as I started making different friends, started listening to other channels on YouTube. If I could shout out like Bernard Chapin, Aaron Clary, um, Rockin' Mr. E, I started subscribing to channels like that that was really speaking, not necessarily, they didn't make it all about politics as much as the social engineering I was talking about. And I was able to see what they were describing in the videos. Like a lot of times, and this go for the manosphere too, a lot of times we bring discussions to the table where we can describe something that every brother know, like, all right, I know what that is. I just never knew the word for it. Or I never knew how to describe it. Or maybe you experienced something and it was like, damn, I didn't even know that was what was happening. And so like, that's kind of like what I was experiencing with understanding what socialism is, understanding what the victim mentality is, which Aaron Clary speaks on in his book. If you decide to take agency for your life or not, play the same victim games that we've been taught to play, then you'll start looking like the oddball, and that's what was happening to me. So it kind of pushed me away from old crowds. Like the more I started saying dumb shit, like, hey, maybe you the reason you ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should stop smoking, or maybe you shouldn't be fucking these bitches like these rats without protection, that type of shit. Cause like it's easy to blame everybody else for our problems, but when you start holding yourself accountable, it's like you can only be around other people that hold themselves accountable. Ain't no victims finna be cool with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause you forcing them to look at themselves.
Let me do this. Shout out to my man, my big bro, Misanthropic One, man. Whenever he comes in, I see him, I acknowledge him. We had Rossan Delay also in here. Want to shout out to Delay too. Let me talk to you about this, the victim mentality. You know, me and you have a lot of the same kind of thinking behind victim mentality mindset Negroes.
Right.
I mean, look, I live in a foreign country. I have to survive over here. You cannot get by over here in this kind of country with a victim mentality. Why do you think so many black men subscribe to it, the victim mentality, and kind of go into your ideas about it?
Well, it's easy to, it's in our education, it's in our culture, like entertainment, music, or whatnot. So like that's the blueprint. Every black person, I'm speaking generally, like we supposed to feel like the police is after us. Nobody want to give us a job. I gotta kill this nigga for this nigga kill me. Like that's kind of what we grew up being used to. So the moment you start thinking outside of that box,
Right.
and you start challenging other people. No, you don't even have to challenge other people's thoughts. Like you can just live a certain way. And our experience is now, like I could just man my business, and people will try to pull you into some shit. Like they'll pull you into politics. Like, yeah, Trump racist, ain't he? I don't know, bro. I ain't really trying to have that conversation. That's now you making yourself like suspect to that herd mentality.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of brothers, to answer your question, that's why a lot of people subscribe to it, because it's just so natural. It's like it's automatic. It's hilarious to me when I meet people that they start off a discussion in a way as to, and this black people, white people, everybody. I've seen a lot of people do this. They'll talk to you in a way where they just know you agree with them. You know what I'm saying? That's stereotyping. They don't know you. They don't know me. I might totally disagree with them, but based on my gender or my race or whatever, they had these preconceived notions that I'm supposed to be a certain way because of who I am. And a lot of times that comes from the people who are also victims. They got that victim mentality, so they don't want you doing that to them, but they'll do it to you, especially black men, because like we the easiest people to stereotype. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's fucked up, but I think it's changing too, because the more we got brothers like yourself, brothers like Anthony Bryan Logan, like you got brothers that don't fit the stereotype, and you have to hear them speak to it'd kind of be like a slap in the face, like, damn, G, I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? And that's good because we need to dismantle some of them stereotypes.
Very good point. And in fact, I got a message from Anthony Brian Logan not too long ago. He's getting ready to get into some vlog footage. So shout out to Anthony Brian Logan. Hopefully when he gets back.
All right,
let me do this. You know, two things I need you guys to do. We have 107 watching, actually 160 watching, and we got 107 likes. I need more of you brothers to like the video. Shout out to MB Bless UK, man. He sent me a great kind of a artist drawn out thing for the Negro Manosphere website, and the website is technically down till tomorrow, so I'll make sure that we can try to do something with that. But thank you, man, for that. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna use that in the promo video we're gonna do with Dima. So shout outs to him. If you guys can like the video, if you're just coming in and watching right now, I appreciate it. Go ahead and donate a like. Somebody just said Charlie Murphy died. Wow, that's interesting. Let me check to see if that's not a hoax. Yeah, leukemia, man, dead at 57. So wow, man, that's here today, going tomorrow. It's man, wow. So sorry to hear that. Really, brother, we're gonna take care of our health, man. It's a big thing. So let's go ahead and do that, and also let's go ahead and subscribe to Marcus Brown, the MAB Experience. If you're listening to this, interview, go ahead and subscribe to him. All right. Shout out to Daniel Hernandez in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. Sub to him.
I saw you subscribe. Appreciate it.
Yeah, subscribe to him and then hit the bell. Marcus, let me talk to you about this. You are a brother who are doing some things. I went into your channel and saw you was at a fashion show in Atlanta. I saw one of your pictures. You had these nice cufflinks. It was some death type shit. Let me talk to you about this because you're a brother who's doing some things that is a little different in comparison to most black men. I mean, obviously, you're meeting different friends, different races of people, and we just talked about stereotypes. Do you deal with any racism as you're getting new friends? And if so, as a black man, how do you deal with it?
Yeah. So this is something I like to do, like a field test. Okay, like I told you, I rub some people the wrong way because I let them get to know the aspect of me that we agree on. Because that's how people are. They gravitate towards people who mirror them. But then at the same time, I gotta be me. So I ain't that professional. Like I'm gonna have my ratchet moments, and I understand that that's gonna rub some conservatives the wrong way. And then I've been pissing motherfuckers off with the coon shit. So my ratchet folks, my ratchet crowd, they don't like when I get suited up and get to talking about politics and shit. So I intentionally, I've experienced pissing people off, and then they'd be like, "Oh, fuck this dude." Like a lot of times, I wouldn't say it was racism. It was more like people being upset when you don't limit yourself to one crowd, or you don't place yourself in one box. The same with the manosphere. Like I could be in a Mgtow group one day. I could be in a black manosphere. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you this too, bro. Like when the black manosphere first came up, not the Negro manosphere, but just when all this was kind of formulating, there was also a lot of infighting going on in the manosphere amongst channels going into it with each other over like ad revenue and content and all that type of shit. So that was another thing that kind of pushed me into image consulting and traveling and things like that. It wasn't that I was ever gonna be done with the manosphere. It was just like I kind of got turned off from all of the shit. And when the black manosphere came up, I told you, like, prior to listening to you and really getting the understanding of you, like I thought it was gonna be like the red pill meets a victimhood complex. So I was like, damn, bro, I hope motherfuckers don't fuck this shit up. But it's meant to be fucked up. Like none of this shit is set in stone. So what I'm realizing now is like a message. You can't kill an idea. You can flag these messengers. You can flag the people that you don't like, but you're not gonna stop the message. And as the message spreads, it's gonna take its own form to accommodate whoever it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So My bad, G. I know I be rambling, but in terms of like racism, no, I've seen discrimination. I've seen what I would describe as own group preference, and I know racism exists, but I personally haven't experienced it.
Okay, that's um. Yeah, is that me or your thing?
I ain't hear you.
Okay, so as far as like you never experienced some racism, um, that's true. You may have never done that, but let me ask you this:
Yeah,
in
that's
right,
not to say it don't exist. I'm just saying
right,
maybe that's me because I've been fortunate or something, but I haven't experienced that.
let me ask you this: Clary, in his book, recommends in so many words that like black men don't even date white black women anymore. Like you may, in so many words, that you may have to marry a non-black chick. Do you remember that part in the book?
Yeah, I remember that.
Um,
I know where that came from too. Because he had people writing him. You know, he do asshole consulting. So like he get people writing him, and he'll do these videos responding to their emails. And he had a couple of guys like these are Mexicans, blacks, and stuff, and they would all have the same story. They would all be like, "Hey, my mom won't let me leave the house," or my family won't accept my non-black girlfriend. And so like I think his approach to that was not to say don't date black women, but allow yourself to have them options. You know what I'm saying? He was real cautious with it. And it was funny like seeing him like that. He a good dude, G. And the reason I vouch for him so hard because I've seen that sensibility. Like he put off this asshole persona. He could be an asshole if he want to be. But with that book, he was always texting or calling like, "Hey, is this offensive?" Or what's with the styrofoam cups? Like he was just asking. Understanding of young black men, and you know, I can appreciate that. It wasn't like some conservatives that have just had that stereotype, like, yeah, these black guys with their music and their dreadlocks. He wasn't like that. He really was like trying to understand what's going on so he could speak on it appropriately.
let me ask you this because I'm pretty sure the black chick that was in that infamous video was black. Dealing with the manosphere and changing your perspectives, do you recommend dating outside of the race? Do you date other races of women
Yeah,
now?
I say allow yourself to have options. Like I still date sisters too. Actually, I have more relationship experience with sisters than with non-black women. But I would say every brother should allow themselves the opportunity to date whoever's interested in them, and whoever they are attracted to. But at the same time, don't glorify these foreign chicks. Like I got a video on that on glorifying foreign women. They not the end all be all. They may be a better option in some regards, but women are women like men are men. You know, I wouldn't actually say that another race of women or of women are absolutely better than black women. I don't feel that way.
Let's talk about because you're making a good point right now because you've been to Dominican Republic.
Right.
A lot of black men.
Dominican Republic is funny. Like everybody ain't gonna be honest about what go down in the DR, but
Let's talk about that right now.
right.
Shit, let's talk about what you've seen and why you don't think it's the end all be all.
In the Dominican Republic or just in like Paris, London, whatever.
No, just the DR because I think Paris and London is probably like America.
Yeah, South America, like places like the Dominican Republic, Brazil. I've never been there, but you know, it's brothers that want to go. Thailand, it's sex tourism. You know what I'm saying? That exists in places where prostitution is legal. So when you go to a place, and then on top of that, the American dollar holds more value. You know, our currency is worth more than they dollar. So we can go in these foreign countries as Americans and our money spend better. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of brothers, and you see a lot of older guys mostly, but I'm starting to see younger people doing it too. They go to these places, you can do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? If prostitution is legal, if you want to pay for some pussy, you can pay for some pussy. If you want to game hoes, you can game hoes. And you see both of that down there, but I think every person that goes down there, they don't want to openly speak on that. I'm the only nigga dumb enough to do it. So like everybody else they go down there and tee up and try to act like it ain't what it is. But I think that's something that people should be aware of, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a reason. I think sisters know that too. Because if any brothers in here in a relationship, or if you ever been in a relationship, like, say you going to the Dominican Republic with your guys, like your girl ain't going to. She gonna feel some type of way.
Let me ask you this. As far as the women in the Dominican Republic,
Right.
what do they look like? I mean, as far as, you know, it's just hella fine, but what do you think?
Well, they similar to the Dominicans in the U.S., like along the East Coast. But in terms of like they looks, they kind of bronze complected. I mean, they all different complexions, but you can see like the Latin influence, the Latin American influence, the Haitian and the Caribbean influence in their culture. It's a Spanish-speaking country. Our money spends a little better than it does here, and shit, what I'm trying to say, it's Americanized too. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll go down there, you can get into their culture, but they gonna be rocking with you on some American shit too. Like it's clubs that play rap music, Drake, all that type. It ain't too different from the crib. It's just a different shade of people, and of course, like the tropic type area.
On average, do you think their women look better than women in America?
I could find beauty in some of every race, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm answering it the way you want me to. I mean, it's some fine sisters down there, but it's some busted looking hoes too. Like I see this shit across the world, bro. Like it ain't no secret island where every woman is fine. Like it's gonna be some fat hoes down there too, just like out here. But it's gonna be some fine ones. Like this is one thing I will say though. The women down there, like the beautiful women, it's in more of an abundance. So what that does is it make like the bad bitch in the US a basic chick down there. So like the bad bitch up here, you know what I'm saying? You gotta come correct. You gotta come over the top. You know what I'm saying? It's a hyperinflation going on in the US, like socially, from social media to like thirsty niggas. We hype these chicks' heads up to where it's some beautiful women, black women in the US, but you gotta do too much for them. Whereas you go somewhere where all the bitches bad, or enough of like 8 out of 10 of them bad, then they basic because they all the same. You know what I'm saying? Now you the prize instead of chasing after them, being thirsty after them. You could just go down there, do you, and if a chick ain't give you no play, you just move right on to the next one.
Okay, so it's like the good looking women are more in abundance.
Right. And they know that, you know what I'm saying? And they know that you got options because of the different the different legal issues. Like I said, prostitution is legal. So it could be some dudes down there, this game and chicks, this motherfuckers, it's a finesse game. You know what I'm saying? The chicks is finessing the dudes is there to finesse the chicks. Sometimes chicks will ask you to support their family, support they got issues at home, they gotta take care of their sick mom, all that type of shit. It's finessing, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the same thing on the brother side. Like it could be dudes down there like, shorty, I'm looking for a wife. You feel me? Like I'm trying to take you back to the States. I can make your life right. You know what I'm saying? It's niggas down there doing that. And then I gotta say this too, like you'll see sisters down there, they trying to get their back on with the Rico Suave looking, you know, the dudes down there, the Dominican brothers, you know what I'm saying? They some suave dudes down there, they got swag or whatever. Working out, they got the eyes, the hair, all the shit that the sisters like. So, but the game is different. It's reversed because ain't those brothers, ain't them the Dominican dudes, they not down there spending money on no bitches. You know what I'm saying? So up here in the States, like the sisters would be used to a dude like, hey, can I buy you a drink, this and that. Down there, them brothers, they trying to get money out of them chicks, out of the American chicks. Because if you're American, everybody looking at you like you got bread. So it's funny to see that. Like you'll go down there, and I guess this could tie into the whole swirling thing. You go down there, if you see American sisters down there and they know what you on, they're gonna look at you sometime, they're gonna be pissed off. But it's like, bitch, you down here on the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But they can't get the perks that they get up here because the culture is different. And it's the same, you know, like I said, on our end, the women don't really act as stuck up towards you for one, because it's a hypergamous instinct there. But then also because they know that they're each other's competition. So you can get treated by 3 different bitches and just get the 4th or the 5th. It don't even matter.
Okay. Yeah, like in America, if you get shot down by a bad chick,
Yeah, yo, you go fucked up. Like you probably won't even holler at a bitch for the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? No, down there it's just like, and then that's the thing. I can't say this gonna happen for every man, but it affects different people differently. So for me, it made me less thirsty. I went down there twice. Like I said, I went down there to get. You want to go to like Punta Cana? That's a resort area. That's where you pay them Great America type fees and shit because you staying on resorts, everything all inclusive. That's where you take your family. You take like your girl, your family, your kids and shit, play in the water park, stuff like that.
Right.
Other places outside of the resorts, like that's where you mingle with the locals, and that's where it's a totally different set of rules. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. And what it did for me was when I came back to the States, I wasn't really thirsty. So even to this day, it's just like if a woman feeling me, if she see me, she like how I move, and she want to kick it with me, that's cool. But I ain't finna be out here like overexerting myself for some shit. I'm not saying that brothers shouldn't try to holler at women out here, but it just for me, it's just food in the fridge because I know it's available.
Okay. Answers that 605. The $1 US is 47.09 Dominican pesos. Let's check it out.
Yeah, I mean that's a funny thing. It sounds like a lot, but it really ain't because that's hyperinflation. Like, hopefully not during our lifetime. The U.S. currency ain't that much. The advantage we got is we got the world's reserve currency, but all these currencies like the Dominican peso or the Venezuelan, I don't know what their currency called, the Zimbabwe dollar, like all these hyperinflated dollars, it sounds like a lot, but it really ain't because it might take you like $500 to buy a gallon of milk or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It sounds like we thinking in dollars. So when we hear like $1 is 40 something Dominican pesos, it sounds like a lot, but it's like think of a $50 Dominican peso as $1. So you throwing $50 bills around. We really just throwing singles around.
That's true. What I can tell y'all for like living overseas, pretty much if you live overseas, like I see the biggest difference in my currency when it comes to like rent. All right, you're living. If you live in the country that has like a pretty good infrastructure, like electricity is cheap as hell here. Heat, like my electricity and heat is about $45 every 2 months in Poland.
Man.
My rent is cheap. My cell phone service is hella cheap. I got unlimited talk and text, 6 gigabytes of data for $6.25 a month, and I'm with the top carrier here, which is Play. On my iPad, I have an LTE iPad. I get like 50 gigabytes of data for a month for $25, which is unheard of. Like the groceries is I can get like $100 for groceries and it'll probably last like the whole month maybe from Tesco, have it delivered here. Now that's when you see like the US dollar.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's when the US dollar start really kicking in like really strong. To see the doctor, it kicks in strong too. Now when you start talking about like maybe buying a TV, it's gonna be the same or more in their prices. iPhone's gonna be the same or more in their price. Unless the zloty is just like hella high. Like when I bought my MacBook Pro, the zloty was like 4.25 to $1. So actually when I bought my iMac, it was cheaper. But usually, you're gonna pay more for computer products. But if you go into a country like Dominican Republic, you'll pay more maybe like electricity because they have generators, stuff like that, backup generators, cold water, So, but if you're like, in Hungary, Ukraine, Europe, anywhere in Europe, you're gonna pay less for food, less for internet, less for cell phone, less for gas, less for electricity, less for rent, for the most part. Anywhere in Central or Eastern Europe, for facts. Russia too. All right, so that's the thing.
Yeah, brothers, like y'all, hey brothers, if y'all listening, man, y'all just gotta move around, check out different places. You know what I'm saying? Just to have something to compare to what because that's the only way we're gonna really have a full, well-rounded perspective of the world.
Right. And so if you make money in US dollars, like I don't make a lot of money off of YouTube, but the money that I do make on YouTube, you know, when I transfer here, you know, it is more. So let me do this. Y'all get the likes up, man. I got 167 watching. I need 13 more people to come in, hit the like on the video. So take me to 150. All right, let's do that. So let's get it popping on the likes. All right. So get it popping on the likes. So if you can, if you're out there, hit the like button, fam. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. 141, thank you. All right, do I got 9 more people to hit the like for me? Somebody took the like away and gave me a dislike. All right, so while I got the likes coming up, I'm going in here. Thank you, Kenneth Goldenchild. I'm going in here and we're talking about subscribing to Marcus, man. Marcus is a great channel in the MAB experience. Thank you, 147 likes. Let's go ahead and subscribe to him in the chat box. Hit sub when you've done it. All right, let's go ahead and go into the all right, 150 likes. Thank you. So we doing good. Marcus, I mean, is there anything? I know you have an appointment. I think was it like in the next hour, right?
I'm just running errands and stuff. I got some time, but you know.
All right. I mean, is there anything else that you had to pretty much?
That I ain't really. No, I mean, whatever you wanted to ask me, but I just wanted to say shout out to you and what you're doing. I appreciate everything that yourself, Jap, Angry Man, all y'all been putting in work, bro. And I know like Jap, he always keeps saying like, bro, you need to get on this shit. And I'm probably gonna get back to producing content. I've just been trolling on Facebook and like just chilling really. But I think nah, man, I think y'all doing well, man. Everybody been doing good, so I ain't really got too much to say. I'm just
Facebook be popping, bro. You be having like 100 likes, 200 likes, opposed to 300. Like, damn, this nigga is a shit on Facebook.
That's because it's a mix of different people. Like everybody on Facebook is conflicting crowds. Like some people know me personally, some of them are like people from the rap scene, some of them are like Trump supporters and shit like that. So there's a bunch of conflicting interests on one page, but that really just describes me because I can relate to all of these people that I'm friends with. So I've just been on that more than YouTube, and like I said, I got my own site. I ain't really been pushing on. Like one thing I could say about the you know, the issue that was going on recently with the flag campaign and all that, like that's been pushing a lot of brothers to back up their content and produce their own work on their own channels, so on their own websites rather. So yeah, I think that's a good look, and I'm gonna probably turn up on that aspect.
Okay, all right. Well, man, I think shit. That's pretty much the only thing that I have to say for the interview. Definitely, we could, you know, we could bring you back. You know what I'm saying? Next, you know, sometime like next week. But yeah, man, I would love to have you back, man. You know, it's a great show. I think we covered a lot, and you know, it was cracking, man. It was a good show.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, man. I appreciate you bringing me on your platform. You know, I'm always supporting the chat. I'm always supporting all the different groups y'all got going on. So yeah, I just want to say thanks again, and thanks to everybody else that subbed too. So check me out. Let me know what y'all think.
All right, so that's what we got going on, man. Once again, appreciate all of you. You know, supporting the channel, supporting everything. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. Thanks, Marcus, man. And we'll definitely have you come back next. You know, hopefully sometime next week when I get back from Budapest. I wasn't gonna go to Belgium, but that didn't work out. So thanks again, man, for supporting the channel. Thanks again for you know, always commenting. And this, like I said, was a great interview, man. And many people are commenting, you know, the fact that you were a great guest. It was a great show. And like I said, let me tell you something, man. Y'all think I'm gonna roast somebody every damn show, man?
Yeah, I see them starting up. They trying to tee up.
Man, look, dude, I can't roast niggas every damn day, dog. I can't do that, man. Y'all niggas want me to roast. You know, yeah, I'm gonna start going back to my pre-recorded videos where I don't do live shit. Y'all forgot that's how my channel got popping. Pre-recorded videos on an iPad in my other room. You know, classic views. You know what I mean? Now y'all got hooked to this roasting, man. Y'all niggas need to stop, man. I just do that sometimes. I mean, I don't do that all the time. Yeah, like Daniel Hernandez roast. I'm a roast show Colombian Jesus looking ass, nigga.
Y'all niggas. Hey, you funny, bro.
Yeah, and they're looking like John the Baptist with a burrito stuck to your fucking head. What kind of nigga? What, you got longer hair than most black? Don't let them black girls catch you nigga with all that hair, nigga. You can cut your shit and sell it as a weave, nigga.
You talking about Daniel Hernandez?
Yeah, that nigga in there looking like Glenn Stefani or somebody. Nigga, old Cher looking ass nigga. You see him? Oh yeah, that nigga got that. That nigga got that.
Shout out Cornelius. What's going on, bro? Appreciate it.
What up, Cornelius? That's my real. Well, Cornelius, what's up, man? That's my real name, Cornelius. Cornelius. What up, cool Cully, man? You got them cheap ass glasses on again, nigga. I see, right? Talking about these Gucci's. And then coming on here, got them with them Ray fans on, not Ray Man, but Ray fans, nigga. All right, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man. I ain't gonna do too much.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I'll talk with you.
All right, peace out.
All right.